Hello all, this is the first video of the CRL series. I'm going to be going over the anatomy of each sheet that they all hold in common. Within this, I will be introducing the input pane, database glass bar, labor applicator, CRL parts itemizer, percentage increase, DDL SPI, glass RFQ, and CRL RFQ. In the subsequent videos, I'll be going over the buttons and the glass bar and how it interacts with everything else. In other videos, I'll be going over specifics of how the DDLs react, and they will be named with each of the tabs names. So first up, we have all glass 1. It has the availability of side lights and pairs or singles. I retain this generally for railings. AG2 is the same, and I retain that for U-channel. BSL is the GRS system with laminated. It is actually quite different than the BST, which is the GRS with tempered. ARS and ARS2 are the same. I retain the first for glass and the second for pickets, but you can choose either one. SRS is a standoff system for monumental staircases with the availability of HRS railing, which I generally suggest avoiding. You can provide the brackets, but I generally suggest avoid using the HRS because it really should be a welded system. Z clips is where you can take just about any glass thickness and apply it to a frame, which is generally by others. Canopy is a glass canopy with spider fittings. You'll be using this more and more. And the idea of these is to provide you with a database glass price and a database CRL price, all while applying a labor price. Also giving you the one-click availability of producing a glass RFQ in PDF and a CRL RFQ in PDF. A lot of my customers who have smaller companies enjoy this because it introduces them to things that they've avoided in the past. You can pick up a lot more. You can expand into larger projects, and it figures everything from the extrusions to the cladding to the posts to this hardware, not to mention the glass. So I'll just kind of click through and show you how everything's very much the same. The input panes are obviously going to be a little different according to each system. You're generally putting in a location, run quantity, run width, and then pieces of glass. If I change this to 6, the width will change. So because this is not a gradient background, this is formulaic along with everything over here. In this instance, you're putting in the height of the glass and the number of posts. We then have the primary glass, which is chosen by this drop-down. It is limited to what the system can accept, which is nice. So if you want to do laminated 1/2 inch white, there you go. It'll apply the price from the glass database. In this instance, there is a secondary figured. It's applied the same. On the next video, I'll show you how to do that. Glass pounds per square foot is figured. Polished width, you're basically just choosing the number of sides from 0 to 2 that you wish to have polished, which will adjust this number, these numbers for the individual polish, and over here, whoops, it copies it verbatim to the RFQ over here. You have the availability of adjusting the edge treatment, and it will apply the price, which has the energy surcharge already figured in all of these. You can apply a rake or a complex rake, whatever. Plug in the number. Same thing with holes. And number of lights per crate, I expect people to be not really doing this. It'll figure the total glass, and it will spit that out onto individual totals. Labor applicator is set up very much the same as storefront and curtain wall. It pulls the pertinent values, the pertinent sums, I guess, from the input and mirrors them over here, then redistributes them over here. The only difference is between this and storefront curtain wall is these are all figured kind of automatically from here. You can then adjust the man hours accordingly. The parts itemizer is a series of drop downs which will adjust these values here. These are dependent according to the thickness. Sometimes, I mean, it depends. You can then do an optimizer to figure how many stock lengths you need. I will go over the buttons in another video. And then you just kind of move down and figure what you'd like. Here we have a percentage increase. We're at 15. I'll put it to 0. This is the hard number at 28. This will be the same as this number. Whoop. Well, that was already copied because it, anyway. That was a direct copy in time. So this is the hard number. If you want to add a percentage, there it is there. That can be applied to all these, and then it copies this verbatim, so you're apples to apples with your RFQ and your database. It's individually totaled with each section, and then totaled there. This is the opportunity for a cap rail. So just I'm clicking through just to show you that they're different yet similar. You then have the I'm going to go to a different one because that's pickets. You then have the glass RFQ that is automatically figured by your inputs here. You have the opportunity to adjust them how you like and use the reset button to revert it back. Same thing, there's a lot of reset buttons here. I'll show you that in the next video. As you can see, these posts are being automatically figured. And just to demonstrate again, oh, that didn't make a change. I'll just go up something like that. It is apples to apples. You then print the RFQ. It'll get rid of the zeros and create a RFQ in PDF that you can use. And then we also have down here the DDL SPY. So this just is a good way to see, to ensure that everything's chosen, because it will adjust accordingly. So if I were to take a different thickness, it'll change, the vinyl or something. This is actually a pretty straightforward one, but it'll give you an idea of what options you have on the drop downs. These are blacked out because it's not. Anyway, ARS is one of the more complicated ones. So that is a general overview. You have your buttons over here. You have a resize over here. You have your print RFQs over here. Input, database, labor, database, CRL, and then the opportunity to produce a glass RFQ. So the way to apply that is here we have a shorthand representation of what has been chosen. I'll just scroll up here to all glass. So all glass I have separate, all glass side lights, all glass doors, all glass 2, all glass 2 doors. Then we have fire there, and then BSL, BST, and the remainder. So this is the database price, and basically if you were to get a quoted price returned, you can just figure, you can put that in and undo that. So that's the entire idea. So you have the option, you have the ability to see how far off your database price is from your quoted, and it'll give you confidence to be able to roll with a database price in the future. Furthermore, these make it more available to smaller companies who are kind of fear these scope items that are on bigger projects, and it'll just give you confidence in being able to bid them. I believe that is it. The next video, I'm going to go over the glass bar, how it reacts to everything else, and applying a secondary glass type. Thank you for watching.